All right, what is going on, guys? I'm here with my guy Simon. He's been a client for a little over a year now, and I thought it'd be good to have him on. He had a pretty insane transformation. So, welcome, Simon. How we doing?
Doing good, dude.
So, yeah, to kick it off, just tell us, where you're from, where do you go to school, little backstory, man.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Montreal, Canada. I was born there, grew up there my whole life. I kind of like decided pursuing a career in sports industry. I decided to make the jump to the US because there's more opportunity here. So I decided to go to Syracuse. It's not too far from home, and it's a good school with it's a fun school too. So I decided to go there, and now I'm a rising senior, graduating in December this year. So it's coming soon. Had a great time. And yeah, I kind of started I started pretty much working out and kind of my like fitness health journey maybe a year ago with Matt, and it's been great. And yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Awesome, man. That's some good stuff. I guess, yeah. So, obviously, like going back to the start, dude. So before you joined, right?
Yeah.
What was kind of like your biggest struggle fitness wise, and what were you kind of looking to achieve by doing the program?
So pretty much my whole life I was overweight. Like pretty much when my I'd say my worst, I was always a little overweight, but I'd say by the age of 14, 15, it started getting worse. And with COVID, it was very, very bad because I used to play hockey. And that's what kind of like kept me in shape with like 4 practices a week, 2 games, and 5, 6 times a week. No, that's exaggerated, maybe 4 times a week. But yeah, that kind of kept me, a little basic in shape. And when that stopped and COVID hit, that's when, pretty much everything started going downhill. So yeah, I gained like a lot of weight, and I wasn't like I didn't have any cardio, like I didn't look good, and my confidence was very much down. And I kind of like my between my after my sophomore year of college, I was like the heaviest I've ever been, like too close to like at my worst probably like 265, 270. And yeah, I was just tired of it, and I kept telling myself my sophomore year, like in the summer between sophomore and junior year, I'll like pick it up, and like I'll come back to school in at the end of August like a different guy. And so yeah, so when I saw your message on Instagram, like you reached out to a lot of guys, and I was like, that's my chance. Like that's like my, that's my pretty much my chance to like actually put my money where my mouth is and like get shit done. So I decided to, like, when I came back, I locked in, and I'm very like grateful for I had an internship with a professional football team in Montreal and the Canadian Football League. And living with the players at the hotel for 3 weeks and everything, eating their meals, which they're athletes, so like they eat well, they work out. So that kind of like gave me a good start to like really lock in, because I was like by myself in my hotel room, so no distractions. And after camp, like 3 weeks after, when it was over and I went back home, I had like installed some sort of like discipline, but I was still very far from kind of like where I wanted to be. But I just kept pushing all summer for 3 months, and like, started working out, following the program and the stuff you sent me, and, locking in on food and everything. And I did it. Like I came back like a completely different man in Syracuse for September, and, maintained it over there. And now I'm in New York City for an internship this summer, and I'm living by myself. And I'm like, right now I'm in the best shape. I'm 185 now. So I lost close to like 90 pounds in a year. Straight locking in. So it's been great. It's been great.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, the results have been pretty insane, but a lot to unpack there, dude. So obviously, I feel like it was beginning of last summer is when you like really started to dial in, or like last May maybe.
Yeah.
And I remember like, dude, the first like 12 weeks, that's when we had that initial before and after where you probably lost like what, 30 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Give or
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were kind of the biggest changes that you made in such a small time that just like made the weight come off so quick?
Yeah. So I was always like, my struggle has always been like, I kind of like learned recently, like cook for myself. Like I've always been very lazy cooking, and being alone in the summer in my place, like my parents working and like being by myself in my house. I kind of ordered in a lot, like a lot of restaurants, like spending a lot of money there, which like is not good for your health and also not for your wallet. Like I ordered a lot of like fried foods and like bad stuff for me, which kind of like, accelerated the process of like gaining weight and like becoming more and more out of shape. And yeah, I just didn't move really much. Like I was always like a big social, like big party guy, which is fine if you do what you have to do. But I was kind of like, just like pretty much going out and being lazy, sleeping all day and just like eating terrible food, not really working out, watching TV all day. Like I kind of like picked it up a little bit where like I started making better choices with food. Like that's the first thing, but also like, installing a discipline of really like getting my workouts in, going to the gym. And at first, like, not gonna lie, I really didn't want to sometimes, like, because when you're lazy and you're trying to like get into it, you're like, damn, like I'm really not trying to like hit legs right now, like at all. And then you
Yeah.
kind of you push yourself for 3-4 weeks that like you have this feeling, and then kind of goes away, especially like when you see like results and like the before and after the first one, like that's really when like, people start noticing like, damn, like you look good, you lost weight, and then your clothes are getting like a little too big, and then you start really seeing it. And then it just like keeps it kind of like snowballs into like where you don't even want to eat bad food anymore, because like you're putting in so much effort, people are noticing, you're feeling better about yourself, and that's when like it kind of, you don't have to like, because you realize like that at some point that like you're just cheating yourself or lying to yourself if you're like eating bad food or skipping a workout. No one's watching you. Like that's like at first, like when you start working out and start doing that, like when you start the journey, you feel like someone's watching you. But like truth is, dude, like no one's really like no one cares. Like if I don't do my workouts and you see it on the app that I skipped it, it's not like you're gonna tell me, yo, lock in. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
not like that. It's for yourself. So at the end of the day, like it's just like that accountability really picks up once you see results, and like that's where it changes. And once you're in it, like like if I could like tell someone that like wants to lock in but doesn't know where to start, I'd really say like, dude, like it's like at first it does suck and like you won't want to do it, but once you like get over that hump, like the first 4 weeks, like it picks up, and like you're gonna like love your life and like love yourself afterwards. Like that's like a big thing.
100%, man. Yeah, I think kind of two things there. First is I call it kind of the ripple effect, right? Where it's like you start getting W's with your fitness, and then it just carries on, right? Let's say you go to the gym, hit a PR, then you go to work, you got that like pep to your step, right? Yeah, that's really the biggest thing for that. And then going back to what you're saying, dude, I think having just like the visual proof of progress is massive. And that's why I like kind of like the program where you're able to like actually input your sets, track your progress, because even just the workouts, if you see, oh, I'm getting stronger every week, you're
Yeah,
motivated to go in there, right?
but sometimes you forget.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you're at the gym and like you might like, for example, today I just like came back from the gym. I hit chest today, and like there's some exercises that I didn't really remember. Like I was like, damn, like cable face pull. Like do I like rip like 90 for 12, like 3 sets? Do I rip like you're not sure? And like in the app, it's
Yeah.
all, and you can go through your like exercise history and everything. And like it's fun to having like also like you sometimes like when I rip the same reps or sets like 2 or 3 weeks in a row, like you'll like push me to like, all right, like try this like set, like add like 20 pounds or
Yeah.
something. And like that kind of like progressive overload, that's pretty much where like, it picks up and you get stronger. So that's awesome.
100%, man. Yeah, I think that's same with like the nutrition too. Like if you're, hitting a calorie goal, but you're actually every week, you're like, oh, I'm actually getting leaner, I'm losing fat, then it's easy to do it. So
100% changes everything.
100%, man. But yeah, cool stuff. So obviously you saw a lot of momentum, and then next thing you know, it's been a whole year and you lost, like you said, what, 90 pounds, give or take?
Something like that. Yeah. Give or take. Yeah. It's,
That's awesome, man. Yeah. What do you, as far as like habit changes go, were there any like just, yeah, like any habit changes that you made that really helped a lot, whether it's like how you view nutrition or
yeah.
the gym or anything like that?
So basically, like when you like get really deep into it, you just become so much more knowledgeable about stuff. Like I used to think like when I was younger, like it sounds crazy now that like I say it out loud, but I used to think like pasta was like good, like very, like good for you and like healthy. Like
Yeah.
because I used to play hockey, and like when I was playing, parents or people like, because back in the day, like in the old days, players used, and players still do sometimes, but like they'll eat pasta before playing hockey, like before a game, a pregame meal. So I thought it was like good, but now I know that like, for example, like I mean it's not, sometimes it's okay, but like it's not something you can eat every day if you want to lose weight. And that's like some little things like that, the sodium, the protein. I didn't know how much like protein was important for you if you're trying to build muscle and lose weight. Your carb intake, your good fats, everything. And like that's really one thing that really changed. But I'd say that like my habits, it's really like it's stop being lazy. You got to stop being lazy and just do what you
Yeah.
got to do. And it's very tough when you're lazy to stop being lazy at first, but the gym will help you with that, like 100%. Like when you work out 3, 4 times a week and you're active, you will start like feeling like shit or feeling bad about yourself if you're like just a veggie in front of the TV all day. Like you won't feel good about yourself. And that's like kind of like not putting more pressure on yourself, but good pressure where like you're accountable and you kind of like, you're very critical with yourself, but in a good way, in a way that like you're like, all right, I gotta move, dude. I gotta do something. Like, and that's not only for like fitness or like the gym, but it's like it takes up like every aspect of your life. Like this summer, like with like my internship, it's a very good opportunity for my career if I do well, especially with me graduating soon. Like I want a job after college. Like, and it's like it's like I'm locked in at work. I'm like I have my routine. It's all about getting your routine that works for you. And once you're in it like a lot of people think, and I was one of those guys that like thought that like at first like a routine, like it looks awful. It's the same thing every day. But like, dude, you'll be so happy once you're in your routine that like works for you and you're healthy and you feel good. Like routine becomes fun. And that's like the biggest thing, like simple things like driving your car around with music you like, or like like coming back from the gym or stuff like that, like having your coffee by yourself, like watching the news in the morning before going to work or something. Like it's simple things that like fitness and like nutrition and like basically your overall health physically like will bring you to like enjoy other things in life that like you wouldn't think you would enjoy, like or like for me, like that I didn't enjoy when I wasn't like feeling good about myself. So that's the biggest change.
Yeah, definitely, dude. And I think that's a good point because, a lot of people might not get it. Like, even I get asked, like, dude, how do you stay consistent in the gym, right? For me, it's like, dude, I love just listening to my favorite music and getting competitive and trying to hit PRs. Like, that's like one of
Yeah,
the most fun part of my days.
it is, dude.
So it's like flipping
It fixes a bad day too.
dude, 100%. It's like just a mental frame switch. Like,
Yeah.
we're not going in there just to put yourself through, hell. It's let's try to improve, have a good time, have a good vibe.
Yep.
And same goes with like, getting the steps in, right? People are like, ask me, why, how do you do that every day? It's like, dude, I listen to like a podcast or like a YouTube video or something to pass the time. And I like enjoy doing that. And so
Yeah.
it's same with the diet too. I know we can get into that in a second, but like you're obviously doing kind of like the intermittent fasting type approach, right? With
Yeah.
the main meals, right?
Mhm.
So I guess how has that helped you
So
structuring with that?
so it hasn't been very, so basically there's two sides to it. So my biggest problem when I was overweight and out of shape was my snacking at night. I've always been like, because I'm like, I love watching movies and watching shows. Like that's something I still do. Like I love like, when dude, I've seen everything on like Netflix and stuff. Like I love that stuff. And like I'm a big movie
Yeah.
guy. So I like watching movies and going to bed late, watching TV and watching sports. And basically like my problem is because I'd stay up so late that I'd need more, like I'd be hungry. And like, what are you gonna get at like 2, 3 in the morning or like at 1 in the morning? Like besides like a bag of chips from upstairs or like some cookies or some bad stuff for you. So that was my biggest problem. And now like I'm not too strict. Like some days I'll eat like I'm trying to have a point in my day where I'm like, okay, that's the last thing. That's the last calorie intake I get today until tomorrow. And like it's not always like a tight window, like from 10 to whatever. It's like if it's at 9, it's at 9. If it's at 8:30, it's at 8:30. It can be earlier, it can be later. I'm trying to not be too strict with that because some days like I'll work late and you got to adapt. Like sometimes like you work late, you're out late or whatever, and you're still hungry. So you can't really be too strict like for that. But what I do is I'm very strict on for breakfast, for example. For me, it wasn't too hard because I've never been someone. My parents kept telling me when I was a kid, they would try to force feed me breakfast before going to school. And I never ate breakfast. I don't like breakfast food. I don't like breakfast. And in the morning, I'm tired. I just want a coffee. I don't need food in the morning. And I'd rather have a big lunch to break my starve, like my starve maxing or my
Yeah.
whatever you call it. I'd rather have a big lunch than have like, a breakfast sandwich or something because I don't like it. So basically what I do is like I'm not too strict at night. Like obviously I don't eat past like 10 ever. But like I'd say maybe like if at 9:30 I'm watching something and I want to get like a little snack in, like I allow myself to do so. like after the spot, I'm probably gonna, it's 8:30. I'm probably gonna have a little Greek yogurt or something. But I don't eat before noon, like at all, like not 1 calorie. I drink black coffee, not eating no milk in my coffee because I don't want the cows before 12 or 12:30. I'm very strict with that. Even sometimes, like sometimes I'm hungry towards like 11 and I stretch it. It's like mental toughness at this point. Like you got to just like, get your mind off of it and like keep working or keep doing whatever you're doing and until it's time to eat. And when it's time to eat, you're happy you made it and you eat. Like that's what it is. But that really helped me because, like when you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to like be in a deficit, right? So you're trying to basically, what it means is basically you're trying to eat like, lower cal count and you're still hungry. But when you have two good meals, it's like you can kind of, when it's spaced out and you respect your fasting, that means that like for dinner and for lunch, for me, what I do is I can eat like 1100 calories for lunch and I won't feel bad about myself because I eat nothing all until dinner. So it's like for me, it's like I have a big lunch and a big dinner, but no in between really. So that's how I roll. It works for, it wouldn't work for everyone, but for me, like it works. So yeah, also it's kind of cool. Like it's one of the like good parts of your day. Like when I get to lunch, I'm like, let's fucking go. I made it to lunch. Like I'm happy. But yeah, for me it works, but it definitely helps keep like staying lean and like losing weight for sure.
100%, man. Yeah, I think it definitely gets you to enjoy the food you have more too.
Yeah,
Like you said, like you break the fast, you're like, you're not just wolfing the food down, you're actually like enjoying what you're having. But
exactly.
yeah, I think a lot of it too is just like understanding the mindset behind it. So like essentially, as you mentioned, right? It's like, all right, every day you have a calorie number to hit your fitness goals. How do you want to set that up? You can do 6 small meals, boring, bland stuff.
Yeah.
Or you can just be like, you know what? Let's fast, have
You flip it.
coffee,
Yeah.
and just have 2 like pretty big meals and wake up leaner. Like that's, I think for a lot of people, right? Like when you screw up on your diet, no one's screwing up first thing in the morning. It's like 11 o'clock at night and you're eating chips or ice cream or something like that. So I think like,
You see everyone doing, you see like everyone that like is trying to diet, like everyone that is trying to lose weight is on a diet and eating small ass portions and like like kind of starving themselves like throughout like the week. And it's like, dude, like you don't have to do that. Like you can eat your meal, like your a normal sized meal of good food, but like healthy foods, but like stop snacking all the time. Like that's like people don't realize how bad like it can become if you snack all the time. Like if you just stick to your meals and you're like locked in with that, and you obviously you eat good foods, like you'll feel like at first it's going to be, it's always, I'm always coming back to that. At first it's tough. Like at first, like when you want to lose weight, you want your stomach to shrink a little bit. So you're trying to, at first you'll be hungry, but like at some point it's how bad do you want it? Like do you want it? Like it's like your mental toughness is going to have to play like a role in that for sure. Like you're going to like you remind yourself of your objectives and your goals, and like it should come from within. Like if you really want it, like you'll be able to sacrifice it. And it's not forever. It's for a couple of weeks, just so like a habit takes what, 3 weeks to get, probably, to install.
yeah,
3 weeks. So like if you rip it for 3 weeks and you tough it out, you'll be fine afterwards. Like sometimes like I see old videos of myself, or like I have these memories on Snap or whatever of like me like downing like so much food, and I'm like, dude, I do that today, and like I yak, like that's so much food. Like how did I even do that? Like so it change, your appetite will change if you just lock in at first. You just have to do it.
yeah, dude, 100%. I think, yeah, another thing too, the way that I like to look at it is like, even if you are a little bit hungry, right? Like you're in the deficit, you're a little bit hungry, you want to flip the switch and be like, let's go. Like I'm getting leaner. Like it's working,
Exactly.
right? Like a
Exactly.
little bit of intensity. Where,
Yeah.
dude, if you went to bed and you were like stuffed, I'd be concerned. Like, yo, like I probably ate too much. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
exactly.
but also doing the fasting, it makes it easier to go to bed stuffed and still be in a deficit too. Like theoretically, you could have a massive dinner, hit a deficit, go to bed feeling great, and wake up leaner. So I think that's definitely
Exactly.
a pro to that too. But yeah, man. So that's some cool stuff. I guess to kind of wrap up the fitness transformation stuff. What do you think has been kind of like the best part of like the program itself, per se, like that has helped you out?
I mean, for me, the best aspect is definitely like the community. like our group chat on like Instagram that like we send each other stuff, and like it's all like most of us also, it's cool like when you're in Sig Chi, because like it's most of us are Sigs, so that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. And like, it's like we're all boys that like just like trying to like get
Yeah.
ourselves better, and like it's very like motivating when like we send each other some like playlists, some like music, or like some some posts or some stuff, so like we just share together. I'd say definitely the community, especially when like I lost weight and everything, and I kind of sent those transformation pictures in the group chat, and like the boys were like hyping me up and stuff. I feel like that's something, it's really, I really feel like it's crazy, because we like, you and me like never met in person, and I've never met any
Yeah.
guys in person either. And but it doesn't change the fact that like we still talk on Zoom a lot, and like I still text with those guys in the chat, and I still feel like we're boys. So like it's like I'd say the community, and also like that's for me the biggest part. But I also everything surrounding the app itself, I really like the fact that, as I said earlier, that like you really see your progress, and like like having you like kind of like increasing, like it's like you don't even realize it. It's like I just, every time, like I've been doing this for a year now, and I know like what I hit. Like when I walk in the gym, I'm like, okay, I know like what drills or what exercises I do, but I still open my app and check, because sometimes you'll like boost up my reps, or like I do what's on the app. I don't question it. So it's like, if it's more weight, if it's more reps, if it's one more set, if it's a different exercise, if it's whatever, like I try to always go, if you set like between 8 to 12 reps, or between 6 to 8 reps, I always reach for the max amount, like max number of reps or sets that you set on the app. So that I trust you, that like you're like you've helped me a lot, like level up since I've been like with you, and like I've been your client. So like I just do what's like I go to the maximum of like what you expect me to do, and it just works. So that's definitely a good part too.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I think as far as the community goes, that's definitely a big thing for a lot of people, because I feel like maybe this is the same with you. You don't always have your boys doing the same like fitness journey that you're doing, right? Like you could be
Exactly.
living with people that eat a bunch of junk, don't go to the gym, and
or
you
that
tend
are
to kind of
or that are already in shape, and like
yeah, yeah,
you're so in shape and you're so far behind that you feel that like it's not even worth trying, because
yeah,
you never catch up. But like once you get motivation, like it's possible. Like
yeah, 100%. That's why I'm like, hey, you know what? Having a group with people that are kind of all over the place. Some are
yeah.
beginners, some are experienced, but like we're all just here to get better. So um cool, man. Yeah, awesome stuff. So obviously, like, let's get into some different stuff. So you obviously got in insane shape, right? How, I know you touched on it before, but like, what was kind of the biggest thing that getting in good shape did for you, just life wise?
Oh my, yeah. I mean, like just it did like a lot of stuff, but like it's gonna like change your life. But like if I could make it in like simpler terms, maybe on like the day to day, just like waking
Confidence, probably, right?
yeah, confidence crazy, but like
Yeah,
like walking up to the shower in the morning, seeing yourself in the mirror, just the way you feel, like it sounds corny, like, but it's true. Like
yeah,
just the way you see yourself. And also like there's also so many different ways that it, like the way you look, it's not like 100% about the aesthetic and the way you look, but it's like the way you look makes you feel a certain way about yourself. And like it's the way you feel about yourself, the way you see yourself and you picture yourself. And it's like, if you look good, it's a great start for everything else. Like just the way you like introduce yourself to people, the way you shake someone's hand, like being confident, the way you like, you speak loud enough so people can hear you, because you're not afraid or shy or like ashamed of who you are. And like just the way you present yourself, the way you hold yourself in public, you're not slouched on your chair, you're sitting straight, speaking loud enough, and like looking at someone in the eyes, like shows a lot of confidence, and it can help you land a job. It can help you do whatever, basically whatever you want in life. And like it also gives you like it also gives you more energy. Like you don't feel the need to, when I used to, like when school was virtual, when I was like 20 years old, like right before, I was an older freshman, but like right before my freshman year in Syracuse, when I was still back home in Montreal, school was virtual. And dude, like I wasn't doing shit, and I was always so tired. But like tired of doing nothing. Like dude,
yeah,
I'd sit there and I'd want to, like, my bed was right behind my desk, and I was like, Jesus, like I need to like lay in my bed, and like I could sleep for like 15, dude, I could wake up at 4 in the afternoon and sleep like 18 hours. I was always so gassed, and like for nothing. And like now it's like when you get yourself going, that's one thing it's a big change. Like you'll just see the amount of like energy you gain from what you eat, and what you do. Like people would think like, yeah, working out and like walking and moving around will make you tired. Yeah, but like good tired. Like you'll feel way more tired if you lay in bed all day and don't like that's not rest. That's just being lazy. And it makes you like catching rest is fine. It's like we all do. And like you need rest, but like laziness and rest is two completely different things. Like you need to like, and it's such a fine line. And like you have to like, doing more stuff will make you feel better about yourself and will get you in more like will make you way more confident. And at the end of the day, you're going to do more things and throughout your day because you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to be confident and you're going to have the energy and you have the nutrients in your body from what you eat to like actually do those things. Like if you eat bad food, like bad food is bad food for a reason. Like it makes you feel bad because it's unhealthy. So like that's like there's a lot of stuff going into it, but that's like the confidence for sure, the energy level, and it's just like all around, dude. Like just living your life all around.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, 100%. And I agree with that too, because like starting with what you said before, just like how you present yourself and like how you internally perceive yourself.
Yeah.
Because like I remember in like high school, like back when I was probably my biggest, dude, like I'd be like brushing my teeth and I just like wouldn't look at myself in the mirror because I just like,
Same, dude.
bro,
Same.
like I didn't want to see it, man. It would kill the vibe for the day. Like
I'd
dude,
turn off the light. I'd turn off the light. I'd be like, fuck that. I'm not like, nah,
yeah.
I feel that. And that's one thing. Like you've been at that point, so you know what I'm talking about. It's like at some point you're trying to fake it, fake it till you make it, where like you're like, if I put a smile on my face and make my boys laugh and like, I do all that stuff, it's gonna be like you're gonna feel better, but you can't fake that, dude. It's so deep within that like your confidence, it's like people see through it, dude. If you have fake confidence, like I thought I was slick with it and people didn't know back then, but now that I have real confidence, true confidence in myself, like now I know that like, damn, like I really didn't have confidence back then. And when I see like pictures and like, and the videos and like, and I remember things sometimes and I'm like, damn, like I see through it myself. So people definitely saw through it too. Like, so that's
100%, dude. And the second thing I want to point out is like 100%, like when you eat cleaner foods, you just feel different and you're just not inflamed all the time. And dude, the problem is most people are probably inflamed all day long. So they don't even know what not being inflamed feels like until you do. And then you're like, holy shit, like this feels great. You have energy. So that's another key point too. But yeah, dude, good stuff. The next thing I want to get to is a reading arc, bro. So obviously like we got two good books going, but like how was it getting into reading and like what has that even done for you?
Oh my God, dude. So when I was a kid, I used to read a lot when I was a kid. My parents bought me books. I loved reading. I was very good at it. Like from a very young age, like I was one of the best readers in my class in elementary school. I just liked reading. It was good. I used to read like, novels and like books that like kids would read, but like, advanced like reading for kids, like, more like bigger books, bigger novels, adventures and like action stuff. And I used to love reading. And at some point in high school, when like the whole social scene, partying scene kind of kicked in like when I was like, I don't know, 15, 16, I stopped before that. But I'd say from 15, 16, I never read another book ever. Like it was like my last book. And I read one more book and it was the bio of Gronk because Gronk's the boy. Yeah. And I read his bio like by the pool when I was on vacation in Dominican Republic one time. But like that was like the last book I read. And I was like 17, 16. And so that was, and my mom especially kept telling me all the time, like, it sucks. Like you used to be such a good reader. You used to love reading so much. And I was like, I just don't like it anymore. Like, I don't know. And it was like my skills kind of like, I was still a good reader, but I just never read. So the only thing I would read would be like fantasy football, like previews or some sports stuff,
Yeah.
And so like I started, the first book I read in years is sitting on my night table right now. I finished it. It's the one you had me start with when I asked you about books. Cause I was like, I want to better myself, especially like I'm already so leveled up compared to last summer in who I am and what I do. But this summer I was like, damn, like I'm not home all summer. I'm like by myself in like another city. And I'm like in my own apartment by myself, like really locked in. So I'm like, it's the perfect setting to really like reconnect with like those kind of like habits and stuff that like makes you feel good. So I was like, yeah, like that's one thing I'm lacking is like I'm not reading anything. So I need to like gain some knowledge and stuff. So you recommended, I asked you what's the first book I should read, and you said The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And so I was like fuck it, like it's like $15 on Amazon. I was like, I'll order it, see what's good. And that was like 5 weeks ago, like right when I came back from school. Like I had like 3 weeks before I was moving to New York. So I was like by myself and everything. So I was like, hey, I'll start reading it. And at first it didn't seem natural because I was like, damn, I haven't done this in so long. And it sat on my night table for probably like 4 or 5 days before I picked it up and like read a few pages. And it was a great, that's where I was going, is like it's such a great book to start reading. Like even if you've never really like you haven't really read in your life, like any books in general, that's a good way to start. Or reconnect like me if like you stop, because it's such an easy read and it's not deep. Like it's not, I mean, the message is deep, but like it's not deep reading. It's like very simple stuff, easy vocab to like understand. And it, you know, it applies to like, it was myself. What's it called? It's like a self-empowerment book or progress book or something. And that was my first one ever that I read. And at first I thought like, you know, like I used to like look down on it, kind of like, yeah, like why would I read a book? Like I like to like better myself. I know what I need to do to be better. You might know, like a lot of times, like I in The Slight Edge when I read it, I was like, yeah, like it's stuff you know, but when you read it and it's explained differently, it puts it into different perspective and you memorize it in a different way. And it kind of really like, for example, like in The Slight Edge, like the book, I recommend the book to like basically like anyone that wants like better themselves and get some good habits going. Like one of my best friends from Syracuse, he I texted him when I started reading it and he bought it, and now he just finished it like a couple of days ago. And yeah, so he loved it, and he's like me. He used to read, stopped reading, and he loved it. Basically, this book is about like The Slight Edge is about like how you take one step every day, consistent steps to reach your goals, and not see not see the big mountain that's ahead of you, and just keep putting like one foot in front of the other, and like you're gonna reach your goals by doing that. And that's the perfect book to start reading because it really sets the tone, dude. Like it's crazy. Like I knew that stuff, like, you know, the simple stuff that people tell you.
Yeah.
It's like make your bed in the morning, and you're like, damn, that's stupid, why would I? But like it's like those simple, like the little disciplines, the little things that you compile. And it's like how they explain it in the books, like compound interest. Like the way you do it like grows together and it brings you somewhere else. And that's like things that like I never thought I'd do in my life, like, you know, like meditating 2 minutes before going to bed, like writing on a piece of paper your dreams and like every aspect of your life, and like just reading them every morning before going to work, like sipping on your coffee, or writing, like I have other pages here, writing 3 things you're grateful every day. And like it's things that you might think are stupid, but like gratitude and being grateful is one thing that's going to really level you up. And that's what this book really like taught me, is to really like, you know, be grateful and kind of like be grateful for the process, you know, enjoy the process instead of only looking to your point and where you're trying to go. Enjoy getting there. And that's like one thing. And that's the number one reason in my book why people fail nutrition and people fail, like, you know, getting in shape and getting their shit like going for them in life. It's because like they see the big picture, the big mountain, and they're like intimidated, and they're like, might as well like fuck that, like might as well not do it. But like, you know, like taking step by step, like, and enjoying getting there is like makes it so much better when you get there.
Yeah, 100%, man. I think the biggest kind of takeaway I had was just like, first, obviously enjoying the process, but also too, kind of just like having that imperfect action of things you do every day. Like comes to fitness, you know, you might be like, oh, I got all this fat to lose. Oh, I'm skin and bones. I have all this muscle. Well, it's like, dude, just hit your workout for that day
Today,
hit the calories, like, right? And then if you're trying to lose fat, hit the steps. Like if you do those 3 things and nothing else, like, and you do that consistently, you're going to see results, right? And
yeah,
you can enjoy the process too. Like you're chilling, but
and just knowing like when you go to bed at night, just like this, one thing that was very big for me about The Slight Edge is like you're always at a crossroads, like every day in every single situation, whether it's for professional, schoolwork, professional, like your career, or like your workout, your nutrition, what time you go to bed, what do you watch, what do you listen to, what do you consume in the media, like how you treat your relationships, everything. You always have 2 options. One that's going to make your stock go up in The Slight Edge. So on the like you're trending up with a slight edge or you're trending down. There's no in between. Like life is a curve. It's not a fine line. You're never there's no middle. There's like, you're either, even if it's super slight, you're always trending up or down. And when you recognize those moments that like, all right, right now, like I could eat this or that. One would make me trend up, one would make me trend down. I could like go to bed earlier, read 10 pages of my book, or like, like do something else that like, I don't know, be up to no good or whatever, or just like watch something that like listen to a podcast that can actually help you, or just like play video games or something. Like super easy stuff that sounds very stupid, but like the choices you make, you always want to make more positive choices than negative choices. And it's important for you to remind yourself at the end of every single day, like, did I win today regarding those choices? And once you really start doing that, you don't want to make the negative choices at all. And it's like a standard that you hold yourself to. And before you know it, like after a while, you'll make all the right choices throughout the day, every day, like, or almost all of them, like more than 75% of them. And that's where you see the real results. And that's not even demanding. It's like, you just do it because you want your life to work. And it's like, that's where you really see it. Like, that's where you gain muscle. That's where you start feeling better. That's where like, you'll have better relationships with your friends, or like gain some more knowledge on some topics that you want to learn about, or do better in school or at work. And like, that's where it starts. Like,
Yeah, dude, that's a great point. And yeah, I think really just stacking wins is one of the best
yeah,
things you can
exactly.
do. Because
Stacking
like,
wins.
yeah, because like you start stacking wins, you start leveling up, then it's like, all right, you want to hold yourself to a higher standard. So you're making that decision. It's like, hey, what would the best version of myself do? Would they hit the calories, go to bed early, or would they eat a bunch of crap and stay up? Right? It's like,
Exactly.
dude, so that's really a good point. And another thing too, it's funny because of the whole reading thing. I feel like it's kind of similar for a lot of people because like even for me, right, growing up, like when I was littler, I loved reading because I was reading books that were like good. Like I was reading these like Percy Jackson books where it's
Dude,
all about
I was
bro,
about to say,
let's go.
I was like this close to like cutting you and saying
Yeah,
Percy Jackson. Like I read
Percy
those
Jackson.
books. I love those books. I love the movies. Like I used to love Percy Jackson, Harry Potter, and all that. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, like those books, right? It's like, oh, it's cool. But then what happens is you get to like middle school, high school, and then they give you the summer reading or the whatever the curriculum books
Awful
are.
stuff, dude.
Absolute junk. So then you lose the passion for reading. And
Exactly.
like I remember, when I first started having the summer reading, I had this like deal with my parents where like, dude, I had a DS with like Pokemon, right? And they're like, bro, like you're not playing until you read 30 pages. I would rip through that 30 pages and just hop on and start grinding. Like, dude, like I didn't like really care. And like during the school year, you're ripping Spark Notes and you're like, oh, whatever, just pass the test.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, the same thing happened. Like, so I have a business mentor too, right? And the first thing that he did is like, he literally gave me mandatory reading. He's like, bro, he gave me 3 books. The first was A Slight Edge. He's like, dude, like before we do anything, like, you gotta get your mind right. Read this book. And I'm like, dude, I haven't read like a book and I don't even know, dude. So that definitely got me into it. But yeah, that's
It's the best book to start. I'd recommend it to like everyone. Like everyone should read The Slight Edge. I really believe
yeah,
that.
100%. Yeah, that's a great starting one. There's another book you probably heard of it called Atomic Habits. Everyone,
Yeah, actually, it was going to be my next one, my third.
yeah, yeah,
But
that's a good one.
yeah, that's
And
a good
then
one. Right now, I'm reading Outwitting the Devil,
yeah,
the second book you recommended. That's definitely like I'm like page like 150 right now. I try to read like I read like daily, like 10 to 20
yeah,
pages. And when I'm more tired, it's 10. When I'm not as tired, it's 20, whatever. But I read every day. And it's definitely a book that you have to be a little bit more locked in to read because
yeah,
it's like a little bit more complicated. And it's not like complicated in the way that like it's uninteresting, like it's very interesting. But
yeah,
it's something that like I feel like because you have realizations and you question yourself a lot more reading this book. So it may be like something that like you want to read. It definitely is something you want to read second after The Slight Edge. I feel like because to start, it's a tough read to start, but once you read The Slight Edge, like after that, like Outwitting the Devil, like the Napoleon Hill like alludes to a lot of like some stuff that you read in The Slight Edge. So it's kind of like it's a good starting point because it kind of builds up to it.
yeah. I agree, and that's why I don't recommend it because it's like you got to get into reading first so you can actually like sit down and read pages out of it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a lot to to
It's a
take it.
crazy book, dude.
Dude, it like literally got banned for years, and they
It's a
like
crazy.
re-released it. If anything, it just gets you to like you obviously haven't like read the whole thing, but it gets you just to wake up and like question everything.
Yeah, it's
But like
insane.
after that, I was like, holy shit! Like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
and the second thing too is it gets into like you have drifters
And non-drifters,
and
yeah.
non-drifters, right? And it's just like the idea of for the longest time, most people are just drifters, right? They just
Yeah.
kind of
And
go through the
even
motion.
me, like dude, like it's funny you say that because they're talking. I'm in the like crunch moment where they're like talking about drifters and non-drifters, and a
Yeah,
lot of like habits that drifters have, I still have. And like
yeah,
even though like I'm doing good and I'm like I'm trying, I'm living like I am the best shape of my life. Like I'm I'm doing good at work, everything. Like I'm in a good place. I'm still a drifter. Like I'm not to that point yet where I'm like I can confidently say that like I'm not. There's some things I still do in there, like sometimes like buying, like spending too much money on stuff that you shouldn't spend money on, or like they were talking about like in the book. Man, I stopped gambling. Like I've been gambling free. I stopped gambling like 3 weeks ago altogether. But like I used to be a big
yeah,
always been a big gambler. I like sports gambling, and I completely stopped when I read that. It's like pretty much like it's a drifter habit to like gamble and do all that stuff. And but I feel like you can definitely get yourself. You don't have to stop everything altogether. Like that's like it's not 0 to 100, and that's what I kind of like. That was my negative point for a while. Like my one thing I did very bad was like all or nothing mentality. Kind of like it's either I'm super locked in on everything or I'm fucking failing everything.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Oh,
I
I
feel
missed.
that.
Oh, I ate a bad meal. Oh, day's ruined. Might as well like eat all the junk food I want, or like some stuff
Yeah,
like that. But that's not the way to go through life at all. Like it's finding the balance.
yeah, I agree. I think as you kind of mentioned, the first step is just being aware of that. Like now that you know what a drifter is and like what are the things that I'm doing, you can slowly start to change your habits. Because even
Yeah,
like me, like dude, I read that book for the first time like 4 years ago, and like obviously I've changed a lot of habits, but
you
like
did more than
I'm,
once.
yeah, bro, I read it 2021 and I reread it a couple months ago. Dude, I forgot about it, and I was like, yo, like that, I remember like that was a crazy book. So then I reread it. Actually, I audiobooked it, right? So
Yeah.
I
That's
was
cool.
listening to it. And that's when like I finished it, and that's when I put it in the chat. I'm like, bro, like you guys have to read this book. Like that was some crazy stuff. But yeah, dude.
Audiobooks are good too. I haven't really experienced with like audiobooks yet, but that's a good like in your car or like going to the gym. Like for me, it's like I really wanted to reconnect with like turning pages and like actually locking into like something
Yeah.
that's good for my mind. But like it's definitely sometimes like if you want to like get some reading in while being proactive and like working out, audiobooks are definitely like a very good thing to like do.
Yeah, my kind of rule of thumb is I always have one physical book and one audiobook. I
That's
think
fair.
like, dude, it's easy to just buy a bunch of books and like pick up one and be like, oh, I want to do this one and kind of
Yeah,
go
yeah,
back
yeah.
and forth. But you
And
just
then
pick one.
you end up not
Yeah,
reading.
dude,
Yeah.
100%. Pick one book, and then if you're good, if you have the time, the audiobook, do that. Like, you know, when I was commuting to work, right, I just listened to stuff. I mean, you can
Yeah.
obviously listen to music whenever you want, but sometimes you're like, all right, I could use this time better sometimes. So,
And that's so right. You see, like you're so right saying that. Like the number one trick, like number one tip is dude, like buy one book at a time. Like don't buy like I I read The Slight Edge. I had only The Slight Edge. I only had one book and it was The Slight Edge. And when I had like 50 pages left, and I know that I read a little bit every day. So I knew that the time it would take for Amazon to get the second book to me would take
yeah,
3 days. So I ordered it three
yeah,
days before it, and I finished The Slight Edge, and the next day the book was on my doorstep, the other one. So that's the way to
yeah.
go. But you don't want to have 2 or 3 books sitting on your like on your night table or on your bookshelf because like you're gonna feel like you have too much to do and it's gonna stress you out and you're not gonna be able to read anything, and like that's not the way to go for sure.
100%. Yeah. I think, dude, it's kind of one of those things like buying books just gives you a dopamine hit. It's the same thing as like even just writing a bunch of goals down, it
Yeah.
gives you a dopamine hit because you're like, oh, I'm going to achieve all these things. But then
Yeah.
if you don't actually achieve them, it's like, dude, it's just you're giving yourself false dopamine. So I think
Exactly.
like, dude, like get one book, read the book, get a new one. So
Yeah. And it's like, and it's really like, I like let go of some things that like we're giving, like doom scrolling at night and like doom scrolling, I stopped vaping. Like I've been like I used like dude, I started vaping at 15. I'm 22 now. Been vaping for 7 years straight through high
Yeah.
school, through college, and everything. And I stopped that. I'm like four weeks clean now. And
Oh yeah, man.
that's like definitely like those like little dopamine rushes you're looking for, especially like doom scrolling was like the one that everyone does, and it's like the easiest one to do because like it's so easy to get caught in like scrolling at night in your bed. But if you
Yeah.
actually, what I do is like I'll watch a show, and then like I don't know, for me it's like at 12:30 I'm sleep like I'm turning the light off and I'm going to bed. That's like my like time. At 12:30 it's lights off, and like I'm going to bed. And I like watch shows until, if like my episode of like a show that I watch or a movie or whatever, if it like it can start at, it ends at like I don't know, past 11:45, I'm not watching TV anymore. Turn that TV off, brush my teeth, and like get back to bed maybe at 12. And then from 12 to 12:25, I read, and then I like meditate, like think about like what I'm grateful for or whatever, and then I fall asleep at 12:30. It's always the same thing, and it works perfectly for me. It doesn't mean you can't watch TV anymore. It just means that like you have to stop like a little bit before you go to bed, because like, you'll sleep way better too. Like if you
Yeah.
read before bed, dude, like reading before bed and taking like magnesium and like melatonin or whatever right
Yeah,
after,
dude.
like you'll sleep like a baby. You'll fall asleep dead ass. Like meditating too for like 2 minutes will make you tired after reading. Like you'll fall asleep like before 10 minutes probably.
I'm glad you brought that up. And first, I just want to, for the viewers, guys, magnesium glycinate, take that right before you go to bed. You will fall asleep, right?
Yeah.
That is crazy. But then going back to what we were just talking about. Yeah, dude, I think like having just a cutoff point of like, all right, I'm going to put my phone away and do like a nighttime, whether it's reading or meditating or
It calms
something
you
like
down.
that.
Calms you down.
100%. Because that's one thing that people struggle with. They're like, dude, I want to stop watching TV. I don't want to stop. So you don't have to stop that. Like watch one episode, cut it
Yeah.
off at 10 or 11 and
Yeah.
then do it. That's kind of like
And
what
what
I
I
do.
do,
Like,
like
yeah,
a lot of guys like gonna watch this podcast and think like, a lot of guys like to watch sports, dude. I love sports. Like I watch sports all the time. For me,
yeah,
my rule is like if there's like, for example, in the Stanley Cup finals, I'd watch every game because I love hockey. But like dude, like I'd watch the game and like I'd watch all the game. So if there's two overtimes, I'm watching all of it, whatever. Like that was my rule. Like I'm not missing hockey or whatever. That's fine. But like once the game's done, it's done. Like TV off, no video
yeah,
games, no doom scroll, no nothing. Read 10 pages, go to bed. There's like if you want to watch the whole thing, which is fine, like you can still do your stuff, but you can't add it to like something else. It's one or the other. Like there's
yeah,
no show, there's no episode or movie after the game. Like you know what I'm saying? You got to choose.
yeah, 100%. It's kind of just having your priorities too. It's like,
Exactly.
obviously, like get some wins that day, earn your TV show, sports game, right? And
Exactly.
then don't, do all three, right? It's like, sports game on, boom, watch the sports game, goes in
Yep.
OT, totally fine. Don't go binge watch Netflix after. Like
Exactly.
it's,
After it's lights off.
yeah, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, dude, that's some great discussions. I guess like obviously we covered a lot of stuff. Um, the last thing, I guess, just a little bit of the frat stuff. So obviously we're both Sid Mackay guys,
Yes.
and you're going back for another year, right, or another semester.
I'm going back for a semester, but I might stay my spring semester and work. I'm not
Yeah.
sure yet. I'm not sure. We'll see.
What do you think, since being on the program, what do you think like the biggest change you've made for like how you go about it, right? Like,
Yeah.
obviously like still going out having fun and not drinking like what 15 beers and going way over your calories, right? Like what's kind of like the dialed approach that you've learned how to do it?
Yeah. I'd say so during the week, stay dialed. Like what I do is like so in Syracuse, like the way it goes is like we go out during the week and like at like different bars have different like cheap drinks and like promotions at night during the week. And I'm not gonna lie, I still go out at night during the week because I don't want to miss out. I'm a big like FOMO person, so like I don't want to miss out, and I want to have fun with my friends because I know the shit's not going on forever, right? So I'm graduating, it's almost done. So I go out and I rip all like the social events I want to go to, but I'm hitting the gym during the day for sure. Like that's like non-negotiable. Like I'm going to the gym every day. For me in Syracuse, my best way to do it was like I'd wake up every morning, and I used to have like my classes were all in the afternoon. So I'd wake up at 9, go like first thing I do, like I open my eyes, I get like some shorts on and like a t-shirt. I grab my like my pre-workout shaker bottle, and just like I'd go to gym instantly. Like before even eating anything, I'd go with like before eating anything, like I was still fasting. I'd rip the gym on an empty stomach. And because I went early in the day, it allowed me to not be too hungry, or I still had energy from my meal the night before, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'd rip the gym on an empty stomach, but not fully empty because it was so early during the day that I'd still be fine. And then I'd just come back to, I lived in the house for 2 years. So I'd come back to the house and like, I'd eat like a good food, like a salad or fried rice or a chicken fried rice or like a quesadilla or something. And, now like I'd watch an episode or two of my show in my room, eating my meal and take my supplements and whatever. And then I'd rip classes and then I'd go out at night. But like, yeah, a good way to stay dialed. Like I drink vodka sodas. Like it's the low, or like, I'm not a big tequila guy, but vodka sodas are low cal. Even if you go off the rails once in a while and drink like 10, like it's not recommended, but like it's going to happen. And even when it happens, like it's still not as bad as like, 12 gin and tonics or 12 rum and cokes or 12 beers, or it's making them being mindful of like how many calories, and like you have to try to drink like as less sugar as possible. Like I don't drink any sodas or whatever because like I just don't see the use of drinking sugar. I think it's ridiculous. And so yeah, just be mindful of that, and kind of like have your fun. Like that's one thing for sure is like don't fucking stop like in school and frat and like your frat, don't stop going out and stop having fun just because like yeah you want to get dialed, but there's a way of doing it that like definitely is kind of like sustainable. Like you can still rip your you were in the house too, like you can still like rip your events and stuff, but it's just like when you like if you want to drink it's fine, and like if you want to have a good time, but make sure your like nutrition is dialed. Like for me, like dude, my nutrition in Syracuse is perfect because like, or at least close to, like maybe once in a while on a Sunday like I'll eat like junk food or whatever, but like during the week, like if I know I'm gonna drink, like I'm dialed like food wise like all day.
Yeah, dude, that's the biggest thing for the viewers. I was gonna give the whole same thing that he just spoke about, but I've already gotten him so dialed that he already just did it for me. So pretty much what he said, right? The biggest thing to like add to that is just like having your calorie target in mind and just being like, hey, how can I like have fun and not blow this target to an extreme extent, right? How do you do that?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, all right, nail what you can't control before you go out, like hit the gym, burn some calories, eat some good food, give yourself calories to work with, and then stick to the good options, vodka, tequila. If you're going to have a couple of light beers, totally fine. Like just be intentional and don't have the all or nothing mindset of like, oh, I screwed up. Let me just binge eat Domino's at 2 a.m. Right. So it's kind of like,
that's the worst. The food afterwards. Like that's the worst thing. And like when I was in high school, when I gained like a lot of weight, one thing that I didn't know at that time, because I didn't care much about it, nutrition and like calories and everything. Dude, I used to drink like every party. I used to drink 12 cans of Twisted Tea.
Yeah.
12 cans on a Friday, 12 cans on a Saturday.
That's
That's
a lot of calories.
That's 24 cans a week, roughly. And like, a little bit more.
200 calories a can?
That's like 250.
It's gotta be crazy.
It's 250 calories a can. And it's like 28 grams of sugar. Dude, just think about what it does to your body. Like, dude, that's
inflammation, dude. Yeah.
That's like 2 more days of your calorie count, like just spawned. Like, that's like, you can't do that at all. Like, that's like, I don't even drink those anymore. Like, not even one. It's like now that I know what it does, and like, dude, you're telling me like I can have one Twisted Tea versus like 2 vodka sodas. I'll take 2 vodka sodas. Like,
dude, it's that, and you're not getting sugar, and you're also hydrating, right? You're literally having soda water with your
that's like
vodka.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous to me, and that's like that's one thing is like just be mindful about that, and like, and obviously like, dude, because it's not realistic to be like, you see those TikToks and stuff and those videos of like, like completely like fade going out and like stay in and like stay dialed, which is like a good way to start. Like that's what, when I lost a lot of weight, that's what I did. Like, and my boys from home were telling me like, we don't see you much anymore. Like at first to get into it, it's a good way to start. But once you already have your momentum and you're already like dialed in your habits and stuff, it's very like, it gets easier to like be more mindful of that. And still like, like now it's the summer, like the summer's easier because like I don't go out during the weeks. I just go out on the weekends, but I still go out. Like I still meet my boys on like, Friday, Saturdays in the city, and but it's just like I don't drink at all from Monday through Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, I have a good time. But like I was dialed all week. I ate well all week, didn't drink all week, and like hit all my workouts, read my pages. Like I did everything I had to do. So why not have a good time? And then Sunday, back to it, redial for the week. And it's like it's a cycle that like, kind of holds together. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, dude, that's spot on. And even I'm thinking about like yesterday, right? Like obviously you saw the video. I went out, had some, went to some crazy event. Obviously I was working the event, but after like got to go party with everyone and had honestly a decent amount of drinks, like not gonna lie. But my nutrition was dialed. Like I had a high protein lunch, had a relatively high protein, low cal dinner, like had a couple of drinks, maybe that's 500 calories, then came home, had like literally Greek yogurt and maple syrup and went to bed. And I think because of all the steps I got, like I was in a calorie deficit, even though I went out and like had a bunch of drinks. Like it's just having those like habits and just that eating structure too, I think is helpful for sure.
And what you told me last week, and that made me laugh, and it's so true. We're like, what did you tell me? You said it's either 2 half cents or 1 full cent. we're like it's either like if you're going out like for me, and now I'm mindful of that. It's like when I go out in the city like Friday or Saturday, I'm like, do I like go all out and do I like, for example, last weekend. So last weekend, I was working Friday till like 10. So I did not like I did nothing Friday. I just went home and went to bed like it was a normal weekday. But Saturday, like I went all out. But like when that was fine, but like it's all good. But like when you go out twice, you're trying to like, cool it down a little bit. And like it's just a good way to go about like everything in general, everything in like moderation. And sometimes it's hard. Like sometimes I still like I'm still like, fuck, like I went too hard. And like it happens quite often, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, but it's just being mindful of it, and like being mindful of it's a good step in the right direction. And like, yeah, just like also like, dude, like just be on like if you live like in like a frat house or whatever, just like hold your boys accountable, dude. Make them hit the gym. Like, I don't know, just like, dude, during you lived in one, like, like sometimes there's nothing going on, just people like vegetating in rooms and like playing video games. Like you have so much time to go to gym. Actually, dude, you'll never have this much time in your life. Probably
the most amount of time, honestly, when you're
in college. Dude, it's crazy how much time you have. Like, and I'm so grateful that like, like when you like you hear people like, yeah, I don't have time, dude. Like I come back, I'm off work at 5 every day, and before going home, I'm like my gym is right next to where I work, and it's like a 9-minute drive there. And dude, like I rib the gym without like asking myself any questions. Every time I clock out, like I'm going to the gym, and then I'm driving home and cooking dinner. And I'm back at like 6:30, like 6:30 or like 6:45 instead of 5:30. Like, dude, it's 1 hour. You have the hour. Like everyone does. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And that's why I recommend people like actually, if it's really a problem, schedule, even if it's 2 workouts a week, schedule it into your calendar. Like figure out, all right, where my free time, right? I guarantee you can fit 2. Most of you can probably fit 5, let's be honest, but okay, all right. 100%. 2, like just do 2. That, and then back what I was saying, do the 2 half cents and the full cent thing. Actually, that's something that I kind of just got into because obviously like I've had problems in the past going too hard 2 or 3 times a week, right? And it got to a point where I'm like, all right, how can I do this while staying on track? It's if you're going to go out Friday, Saturday, like don't full throttle it. Like have a couple of drinks, enjoy your time, be present, don't get hammered, right? Or if you're like, hey, you know what? I do want to go and have a really fun time and drink a lot. Like maybe stay in Friday and like really enjoy your Saturday. Like do fun stuff and make the most out of it. 100%. Because like, dude, there's so many nights, and you probably know, it's like you just randomly got hammered for no reason, probably watching sports on the couch, right? Or with your boys. It's like, I didn't even need to get, bro, I'd rather just like not drink and go and have a great time tomorrow when you actually go out, right? Like, so
that's one thing it completely like eliminated is like, I used to like just go to my boys' like crib and like in Montreal, like back home, and we just sit around and drink 12 Coronas for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, dude, no reason. We're just sitting on his couch. We're like playing video games, or I don't know, fucking like watching a sports game or watching a movie, and we'll drink like 12 Coronas each. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, why not? Like, just hang out, and then tomorrow we'll go out in the city and get.
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid. You have to like be mindful of that. But yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, dude, we had a This is a sick video. We got some good conversation. I feel like this is relatable to people too. Like,
Oh,
you know, most
100%.
most people in their 20s, right? It's like, yeah, I don't want to, stay in and go like winter arc 24/7. So it's like, dude, just
And honestly, dude, like the best and pieces, like, we were talking about that recently, that like, some people, like, it's like, oh, it's the summer, like I'm gonna lock in like after the summer.
oh
Dude,
yeah, yeah,
dude, the summer is the perfect time to lock in. Like for me, like, dude, it's way harder to start good habits at in college, like when you're in, like, for me it's Syracuse. Like I live in a, like, I don't, I won't anymore, but like I used to live in the frat house. Like it's way harder to install those habits living in the frat house than like installing them at home over the summer. Like it's way harder. And like people like that, like, want to live it up this summer and like lock in. It's not like a switch that turns on and off. Like it's not that easy to lock in. And like when you
yeah,
want to start, the hardest part is when you go from zero to like actually starting the process and the journey of locking in. The best way to do so is when you have like as little distractions as possible, where you can actually lock in on yourself and just focus. And the best way to do it at our age is definitely in the summer. It definitely is. And like, and then like also like if you lock in during the summer and you get it on a good pace, even if when you go back to school, like, remember, dude, like at some point, like after the summer, I think I went like 3 weeks and I hit the gym like twice in 3 weeks, my first 3 weeks back in college. And I wasn't proud of myself or whatever, but I was like I was like partying a lot and everything. And then like, I still didn't lose everything because I made so much progress over the summer. When like you're at school, it's the perfect time to maintain. And then you
yeah.
build when you're not at school. That's like, that's the way I do it. Like I really use the summer to capitalize on like building myself, and then I maintain, and then I'm graduating soon. So I'll maintain while I'm at school, and then while I graduate, there's no more maintaining. I'm building for the rest of my life. So like that's the way I see it. But there's definitely a way of doing both.
I agree, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you're not going to have always points of the year where you're fully like locked in. It's capitalize when you can, but just don't fall off, right? Like the idea of
Exactly.
just not going to the gym all summer, like that would give me the worst anxiety, bro. I would probably have to like hop on
Oh
like
my
I'd
God,
have to
yeah,
hop on like anti-anxiety meds. Like you have to, bro. Like
dude,
there's no way I can just
I'd
fall off,
freak
dude.
out. I'd freak out.
Yeah,
I was texting you. I was texting you last. I was texting you Friday.
to
I
the
had a
draft, right? Yeah,
yeah. I had a scheduled
yeah,
work. I had a scheduled workout on Friday, and I ended up doing it Sunday. Sunday's always my rest day. Always my rest day. And with the draft party at work, we had such a busy week, like planning it all week, that I kind of like, I just didn't have to. It was a busy week. I didn't have time for like my core workout and my second workout, my second push workout of the week. So I just like, Sunday came and I had so much time on my hands, like all afternoon. And I was like, all right, dude. So I went to the gym, ripped my second push, and then I ripped core in the same workout. And I just
yeah,
like, I was like, oh, like I did it. Like, let's go. Like, dude, it gives me so much anxiety when like when I can't like hit the gym, or like I don't have time, or like when when I'm on like vacation with my family, it's like I'm so like, it makes me anxious to like not be able, when there's no, like there's not a gym like in my disposition, like makes
yeah,
me so anxious. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah. No, 100%, man.
So yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, it's a great ending point. I guess my last question is to the guys who are probably on the fence, right? Should they join a program? Maybe they're not seeing results. Maybe they should just figure it out on their own, right? You think just joining a program and getting that information, the accountability, you think that's helpful for someone if they're stuck, or what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, dude, 100%. Like, one thing I'm going to preface by saying, like, you have to feel it. You have to feel it and find it like within you. Like if you're not ready to put in the work and you're not ready to do it, nothing's saving you. Like you have to be willing to do it. But it's so good to have some guidance, especially what when starting, and like just knowing that like you can have a coach that like is also your boy, that like you can just text, like you have his phone number, you can just text. Like it's not a formal thing. Like I you know what I'm saying? It's not like I have to email you, or like I can just
Yeah, yeah,
like shoot you a text if I'm like, if I have a question or something, and like you answer, it's like you're on the clock like 24/7, which is like cool. And that's, it definitely helps. And like once you're into it, dude, like I never thought I would be at the point I am right now in my life. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I thought at some point, like, all right, I'm just gonna be out of shape forever. And like I was like, it's fine. Like some people are in shape, some people are out of shape. I was like, all right, I'm gonna be out of shape forever. That's how it's gonna be. And like there's nothing I can do about it. But like, dude, like once you put in the work and you get into it, now I know that I'm never going to be out of shape again.
Yeah.
And it's not even because like I'm scared. Like it's just like in my like I've been through so much like during my journey, like with that there's just no way I let myself go like I did before, like I have before. Like I'm at a point where like I'm at a point of like no return, but on the good side now. And
Yeah.
you're never at a point of no return on the wrong side either. It's like sometimes you think you are, but there's way worse than you somewhere. There's always someone. Obviously, there's always someone. There's always going to be someone better than you, but there's always going to be someone worse than you that like comes from way further than you. And like once you get into it, it's so worth it, dude. It's going to flip your fucking life upside down in a good way. And I recommend it to basically everyone.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it's a good point, because I feel like it's easy to compare yourself to other people, and maybe someone who's way more like jacked than you. You're like, oh, I'll never look like that. But the biggest thing you can do for yourself is really just like compare yourself to the past version of yourself and just try to always improve from that. Like, obviously
100%.
everyone's on different parts in their fitness journey, different starting points. But if you just like try to one up yourself every week or month, like that's why I named the business and the program like Level Up. It's like, dude, even if it's adding a rep every week, like if you're just
It
improving, then
compounds, bro.
yeah, dude,
Like
100%.
compound interest. Like it's a slight edge, dude.
The slight edge, man.
It
And
does. It works.
and the last point I want to make too is like, people might look at even me, right, and be like, dude, like how are you lifting so much weight, like whatever. Guys, like I'll be honest, I'm doing the same thing that Simon's doing. I just didn't stop. Like imagine if you hit the
Did it for a
gym
longer
two or
time.
three times a week, right? Like 2 or 3 times a week isn't that hard to do, right? You track your lifts, not that hard to do. Now imagine if you just did that for 5 years straight and didn't stop.
Exactly.
Like you saw all the results in a year, right? Like, dude, like you're gonna be in an insane shape. So
That's the thing I keep telling myself. I'm like, it's been
yeah,
a year. Imagine in 2, 3, 4, 5, it's gonna be
yeah,
way better. It's gonna keep
100%.
better and better. So
Cool. Well, dude, appreciate your time. That was a sick podcast, and
dude, that was
let's
awesome. Thank you so much for getting me on. It was great.
absolutely, man. So, all right, guys, thank you for making it this far, and hopefully see you guys in the next episode. So,
See you guys.
peace.